Hey, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 299 of Be With Me, 7 Minutes of Biblical Wonder. We are going to begin, middle, and conclude marriage and divorce in 7 minutes. This should be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about divorce. We're going to talk about brokenness in marriage and sexuality. And then we're going to come to some conclusions, all in 7 minutes. Here we go. First of all, the verse that is inspiring this is Luke chapter 16, verse 18, and here's what it says. Everyone who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery, and he who marries a woman divorced from her husband commits adultery. So let's talk about marriage. God invented it. It's in Genesis chapter 2. Verse 24 and a little bit before that. So who gets to be married? Those willing to give away their rights. That's from 1 Corinthians chapter 7. It is an institution made by God and joined in by willing partners who are willing to give up their rights, financial and sexual, to the other person. What is marriage? Well, marriage is something that is above our pay grade. It is God instituted. It is answering a problem. You know, the why of marriage is that it's not good for man to be alone. That's in Genesis chapter 2 as well. So it's an answer to a particular problem, which is this aloneness, that life is better shared in most cases. So what's the timing of marriage? It starts when you want it to, and it ends with death. There's really no expiration answer on a marriage. All right, so another reason why is it's an answer to temptation. It's a provision for the fact that God has made us sexual beings. And then where does marriage take place? We talk about a courthouse or whatever, a marriage license, but really it's an institution instituted by God and before God. All right. So let's talk about divorce, which is what the passage is about here today. Divorce is bad. Divorce is wrong. Divorce is immoral. Divorce is destructive. Divorce is expensive. And it makes people alone again, and it's prohibited by God, and it's prohibited by man. So where did I get all that? You don't even need to go to the Bible. Just ask a divorced person. I know lots of people that have been divorced. Many of my friends and colleagues and spiritual brothers and sisters have been through this process called divorce. Not a one of them speaks highly of it. It's a terrible thing. Just ask them. And God agrees. The point here is that people agree with God without even knowing it. If you want a long treatise about divorce, Matthew 19 talks a lot about it. But the intent of marriage is permanence and coming under something that you didn't invent and that's not yours. Now, is it any surprise that there's fallenness with sex? And is it any surprise that there's fallenness with marriage? Not one bit. Is it any surprise that some of our sexual engines are broken? Nope. Is it any surprise that some of our sexual engines are misused? Nope. Is it any surprise that our sexual engines are abused? Nope. Well, how about our marriage engines? Is it any surprise that our marriage engines are broken? Nope. Misused? Nope. Abused? Nope. So the biblical word for the brokenness is porneia, which is ongoing adultery, prostitution, incest, fornication. Basically, it means taking something that's not yours. In the passage today in Luke 16, no exception is made for this particular problem. But in Matthew, in two places in Matthew, divorce is allowed for porneia, for adultery, prostitution, incest, fornication, something in a big morally wrong category. It's allowed, but not required. Okay, so let's go to the passage here. So let's say you are divorced, and the passage here says that you marry another. In other words, if you've gone through this, and if you've had a marriage that started with a rule breaking, with an adultery a problem, is your marriage still valid? Absolutely. In fact, the passage says that everyone who divorces his wife and marries another, so it's not like you're not married to the second spouse. You are married, and the call is don't commit further sins to break it up. So I approach this topic very humbly. I have not been divorced personally, but I am very sympathetic. This is relationships are hard, obviously, and if you've been through a divorce, I'm sure it goes in the list of hard and horrible things in your life. So let me conclude now. The biblical principle is to cling to your spouse, to hold fast. It says that in Matthew 19, and we say it in Greek, but hold on tight. If you find yourself this morning woken up as a married person, then hang on, work at it, etc. Remember, the Lord cares a lot about this. He created this. He provides this institution for us. So let's honor the boundaries. Let's make this more boundaryified, if I can make up a word for it. He's the one that had compassion on our aloneness and wanted to give us a helper. And if you have been divorced and maybe started a marriage by breaking some rules, don't break any other rules. Be the greatest married person until the day that you die. Honor and revel and enjoy and appreciate, protect your marriage. Know that obviously none of us are perfect, and none of us have perfect marriage. So the Bible has lots to say because the Lord invented it. So let's honor marriage, let's honor the marriage bed, and let's all try to stay married if we are married. Thanks for listening. This was a fun whirlwind through marriage. I bless you in your marriages and future marriages.